ever hear me say like people jump the gun? Like they jump the gun. You know? It's like, what I mean by that is like, everyone is so excited to be on the winning team, right? And I think that might be just human nature. You see somebody winning and you say, I want to be on that team. In my life, it has saved me to observe and to wait, right? Even if I think I know what I know, I still just wait and I just observe, because I don't want to jump the gun. I don't want to be like making the wrong decisions, right? I think because I'm so misunderstood that I assume that there's a misunderstanding somewhere. Like, I give people the benefit of the doubt, or I look at a situation and I say, maybe this is not what I think this is, right? So I just wait. It's not even about like I'm nervous of being wrong. I'm not nervous. I just wait, because you just never know. People who tend to choose the winning team first, they appear to be winning, right? They appear to be winning. But when they see like the underdog winning for a second, just for a second, they don't allow it to just happen, because they have so much invested. You know, when I talk about the neurodivergent villain, that's what I'm discussing. When everybody wants to be special and neurodivergent, like I do think a lot of people are neurodivergent and undiagnosed. But I think that because neurodivergence was not and is not in a lot of ways acceptable, people tend to, you know, they sleep on us, right? But then when they see us winning, they're so greedy. They're so greedy for attention, and they're so greedy for like to win always, that they will try to intercede the moments that you're winning. I was in Pizza Hut today picking up an order, and how would I say this, like a big wig. This big wig walked in, right? White man. You could just tell he was like in charge of something. Like, and we know, like, I don't feel like, yeah, I make everything about race because everything is about race. It's like that thing. You thought it, but you said it. I just say it. But I always tell y'all, black people tend to code switch, kiss ass when they see white people. They don't got to know the position. They don't got to know shit. They just code switch. I'm not talking about all black people. I'm talking about black people who be in the hood, be in environments where usually there's not a lot of black people in charge. When they see white people, they acquiesce, they straighten up, they code switch. I don't give a fuck. I say what I said. This woman, I always go in there, and she has great customer service, but I do see her act differently when white men come in. And white men, they want you to do, like, they know who they are, right? So they walk in, hands in their pocket. They're like, hello, how you doing? Yeah. Like, they're important, right? And she's just like, yeah, you know, eye contact, you know, talking. And they had a little interaction, and I'm just sitting there. And I was so tired. I still am tired. I'm sitting there like, just like, and he's looking. He keeps looking. And I keep looking like, what the fuck are you looking at? And then he was like, do you get a lot of rude customers doing this? And because he seen my DoorDash bag. And I said, honestly, not really. Everybody's pretty nice. And they even tip. They tip me. Everybody's really nice. And I said, maybe it's just because I have their food. And the lady was like, and number one, she was pressed because people compete for attention. She probably convinced herself somewhere that she's versatile and that she can talk to anybody, and, you know, all that whole bullcrap. So, and then number two, when I'm talking, it's relaxed, it's easy. I'm not kissing ass. He actually approached me and I answer, and now we're having a conversation. So he said something. He says, I didn't say anything after I said something about the pizza bag, and then I said, you know what I'm really worried about most of the time? I'm worried about dogs chasing me. And he said, oh, that was my end. That was not to say I was trying to get in, but that was what we were going to talk about. I felt it, and that's what we were talking about. And he was like, I even have a friend. He said, I go over his house. His dog is sitting on the couch. His dog is sitting on the couch. The dog gets right up in my face. And the lady's looking, right? I can feel her looking. I don't even have to look. I can feel her looking. And in the middle of his story, she picks up my DoorDash bag that's on the counter, and she starts holding it up like this. So I'm like, oh, that's mine. And then she kind of holds it back, like, so I can't get it. But she's pretending to be confused, like she's looking in the computer, like, I'm not going to give it to you. She's malfunctioning. She doesn't know how to stop the conversation. So she's just like, this is her bag. I'm going to take it. And then when she tries to get it back, I'm just going to ignore her. That's literally. So she did that. And I stopped talking. I looked away. So the man stopped talking. And then we were both looking at her now. And she's like, oh, I was just trying to move it. It's no worry. So I was like, oh, okay. So I was like, okay. And then he starts back again. And he's like, the dog gets up in my face. And it starts growling. And I'm like, dude. How do you... He's like, my friend's like, the dog's cool. The dog's not going to do anything to you. He said, dude, how do you know the dog isn't going to do anything to me? Do you know what... And I said... Y'all know I have a whole video on here about this. Dogs, people and their dogs. And I say, my sentiments exactly. I say the same thing. I said, I ran in someone's house. Like, we start talking like this. I ran in someone's house because a dog was loose and everything. Then I heard, hey, what was your order again? What was your order? Well, I'm like this. He looking like we're having a conversation. I said, it's for Latoria. She said, Latoria. She's looking at the computer now. Latoria. My bad. I had to stop for a second because I had to drive. I'm at another pizza place. I walk in. She's like, it's in the oven. Well, y'all gonna learn. Y'all gonna learn. Lord Jesus. But anyway, let's finish the story. So I say, yeah, Latoria, that's what I have that. I literally been sitting there for 20 minutes before this nigga walked in, right? So long story short, we're talking. So the man is smart enough to stop talking because I think because he's a bigwig, he's used to people getting his attention. He's used to people trying to get his attention or performing or not having, decent conversation. But also, I think he was smart enough because she's cock blocking. This is what I think made him start talking to me. So when he walked in, somebody came in with their son, their little baby son. And the boy, man, his eyes were so piercing. He kept staring at us. Hold on one second. This lady is getting on my nerves in this piece of plate. Hold on. The last time I'm going to come back because I just want to finish talking. I just delivered a DoorDash. It's like I'm changing, y'all. I am so sensitive to noise. Like, I'm hyper sensitive to noise. I feel like my heart is still beating. I just delivered a order. Pissed me off. Just a tip for anybody who orders DoorDash or has an account. Don't set your location while you're in the house. Set your location at the end of your driveway. That's where you set your location. If you set it in the house and there's a back road behind your house, it's going to take the driver on the back road. That just happened to me. I'm on a dirt road that goes nowhere and I can see the house across the fence. Oh, it's just annoying. So go to the end of your driveway and set the pin. But anyway, I go when I pull up, so like somebody's having a house party. Not the person that I'm delivering to, but the neighbor. There's too many cars out there. You know how black people do. When you walk out the car, everybody's staring at you. I don't like that. So everybody's already staring at me. The music's entirely too loud. Everyone's yelling to talk to each other over the music. It has to be about maybe 30 people in somebody's garage. Cars everywhere. I pulled up. I couldn't even park properly. Then I go to the house next door where the party is not, but where the delivery is, I go there. I ring the doorbell. This Cujo sounding dog in the garage is growling and barking, but the bark is like a cry, like a it's like he's screaming and bark. Oh my god. Then somebody comes to the window and I'm like, got your pizza, you know what I mean? And then the reason I have to have my windows down is because I ain't got no air conditioning. But anyway, I give the dog the pizza. I give the dog the pizza. I'm trying to give the people the pizza, and somebody keeps coming to the window and looking, and then closing the blinds, and then coming to and looking. I'm standing out there for like 2 minutes, which is a long time when you're just standing on the porch and you're overstimulated. I'm just like, what the fuck? The dog is getting louder and fucking louder. They're not coming to the door. I put the pizza down. I go back to the car and I drive the fuck off. Before I drive off, he's on the porch going, hey, hey, with his hands in the air like, what the fuck? Why you didn't hand me my pizza? I know you want me to hand you the pizza. I'm overstimulated and I got to fucking go. Something has changed. Like I never used to be this sensitive to noise. This is why I could never live in Decatur again. When I say never, Decatur never fucking sleeps, and it's this. Usually it's not like this over here. Anyway, where was I? What the hell was I? I'm sorry. This is going to be the longest video. The guy. And then, I'm sorry, y'all. Before that, I go to another pizza place when I told y'all I was getting out. So, this lady, she doesn't acknowledge me when I come in. She's talking to me, but looking at the floor. She won't give it. I'm like, are you talking to me or whatever? So she's like, it's in the oven. And I'm like, okay. So I go out and I sit in the car. That's when I come to talk to you. And she called me back. I go, she's waving. I get in there. She puts the food on the counter and walks away. She doesn't say anything. I just take the food, put it in the bag. She said, you got another box. What's going on? Anyway, what was I saying before? I was saying people jumped the gun. So long story short, the guy, I think how we started talking, there was a little boy who walked in and we were both playing with the little boy. That's what made the guy feel like he wanted to talk to me. I know that's why. And I think because he understands things about life, probably because he has a lot of money. I read a book called Solve for Happy one time, and they were talking about the guy was saying he lost his son. The hospital killed his son. He went in for something very minor and didn't walk out, and he was saying that it didn't matter how much money he had, and he was very wealthy. I think he said he worked for Microsoft or something. That's a good book, y'all. I still have it on Audible. I should listen to it. Anyway, he said it doesn't matter the amount of money you have. It's never going to make you happy. But I'm not saying that this man wasn't happy. I'm just saying he understands that money can't buy the conversation we were having. It wasn't the best conversation. It wasn't nothing, but we were connecting. We were talking about dogs, ironically, and the dogs just fucking scared me, but it was still a genuine conversation. And I think the woman was looking like, what the fuck? Like, how, like, I don't think it was directed towards me per se. I just think the competition, people want to compete. They want, well, what does she have that I don't? Like, why are you talking to her? Because you jumped the gun. You're playing the game. You could have just said something regular to him too, but you didn't. You think you went home and you go home and you've been doing this shit for your whole life and you practice this stupid fucking small talk. And that's probably, she was a manager. That's how you got to the top, kissing ass, doing this dumbass small talk that they love. But that's what got her far in life. That's what gets her to be the manager. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not the manager nowhere. But when I have conversations like this and people can see or they witness genuine conversation, they want to steal the little bit that I have. Because in order to have a lot on this earth, you have to play the game. It is my handicap to play the game. People might say, oh, you can do it. I can't. I don't even know how I survived this long on this planet, because I cannot do it. I can't do it. I cannot fake. I cannot do small talk. I cannot do it. I can't. Even just now with all that noise, somebody would say, what the fuck? I literally am getting like more of a weak ass bitch the older I get. I cannot do the things of this world, and it makes me nervous. It does. The older I get, it makes me nervous, if I have to be honest. But that lady jumped the gun, just like a lot of people jump the gun, right? And they forget that they're winning. They see me out and they see me having this conversation, and in that moment they think, wow, she has the world, she could just talk to him and whatever. And I don't know what they think, but to be interrupting somebody and be that bothered, you think that we just don't, like you can't see how much I suffer throughout the day when everyone in the fucking world is doing small talk all day, and I never can join in because I can't do it. I can't fucking do it. And the moment someone can see me and I can see them and we have a moment, the people who jump the gun, because I'm gonna tell you why I say jump the gun, but those people, they want to steal that too. No, you picked a side. You picked the nonsense. And the reason I say jump the gun is because the currency of the future is going to be authenticity. Mark my words. I can bet that on anything. I can bet that the currency of the future is going to be love. It's going to be attention. It's going to be... Who coughing like that? Anyway, it's going to be attention. It's going to be love. It's going to be human interaction. It's going to be a hug. Something simple as a hug. It's going to be, what's your name? It's going to be listening. We're going into a time of AI and robots and nonsense, that the only thing that's going to be valuable is love and attention. And you guys are practicing how to not be present. That when you see somebody being present, you malfunction and think it's something that you have to bombard over and trample over and compete with. You can't compete with this. And yes, it looks like I'm losing now. I'll probably lose in my lifetime. I probably continue to lose. Who knows how this is going? I probably continue to lose, but eventually y'all are gonna have to learn how to just be authentic, so you don't feel like you have to cut off people in conversation and keep competing and have everything in the world you want, a big house, the title of the job, the everything, and you still have to compete. You still have to try to steal the shine. That's sad to me. That's sad to me. And what's going to happen is the underdog, which is the neurodivergence, and people like me who can't do it, are going to be the ones who are craved. They're going to crave us in this world one day. That's why I say, don't jump that gun, y'all. Don't jump that gun and sit there and try to play this game. You can play it to a certain extent to survive. Yes. Keep your authentic self. That's all I wanted to say.